Hi, welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, I'm going to do something that's going to be a little bit painful. Now, I did a full collection video that took hours and hours and hours, and a lot of people, and I did comment in that video that I would show you my unfinished projects. And believe it or not, quite a few people have messaged saying, when are we going to see it? When are we going to see it? And I guess the reason for this is quite a few of you have probably got some projects that are not quite finished that niggle at you all the time. Well, hopefully this video is going to make you feel a lot better about yourself, as I tend to have a reasonable number of projects that are not finished by a long shot. I have the shelf of shame behind the camera, so I'm going to pick out the ones and go through each one, tell you what I'm doing with them, and try and justify why it's still sitting there unfinished. Now, if you've been watching the show for a while, you're gonna know this one is probably the most famous in the whole collection that's not finished, and that is the Blazing Blazer. Now, if you haven't watched the videos, I built this on the show from new in box. Every step that you take to build a Blazing Blazer from new. And there's not many of them left, so I'm really chuffed to have this one in the collection. And I sent off the body to be professionally painted to an insanely high level. The reason it hasn't been finished is a few things. One, this sits just off camera and you don't see it, but it takes pride of place. Out of all my collection, it's the one I look at all the time. The thing is, why it's not finished is I love the driver so much. He is so gorgeous. Having no roof on it means I can look at him, and I really like that. The other thing is that the wing that goes on the top, the one in the kit, there is as plastic. There is a set of alloy roll cage you can get, and I really want it. But it's really expensive. It's like £150, and I just never get that little bit of extra cash to go, I'm going to blow it on that. So that's why it kind of sits like this. I have got everything to finish it, like the decals and then the front grille. But until I have a little bit of money left sitting there and I can just grab that alloy wing to fit and the decals in the front. Also the electronics. I don't have the electronics for it. So it's kind of just sitting in limbo, but it looks beautiful like this. And it takes pride of place, so I kind of still enjoy looking at it, even though it's not quite finished. And that's probably the one I get asked about the most, but it's not the only one. Do you want to see some more? Next, we have one that I've been working on for years. Yeah, literally, this one has taken me years to slowly put back together again. And that's a king cab that's fully restored, apart from the body's not painted. Yeah, the reason it's kind of stuck in limbo right now is a few reasons. The first one, I'm pretty sure Tamiya at some point are going to re-release this, hopefully. And I want to get a real body. Why do I want to get a real body? Well, the rest of the car is all fully restored to original vintage parts. Not only that, but I have vintage decals that are original. Yeah, I have a set to go on it. And this body came with it when I first bought it, and it's been just sort of hanging around for a long time. So it's got a few scratches in it. I didn't cut it out. It came like this. I still have the actual bit that goes over the top, but it's just showing its age a little bit. So if I end up deciding to put those decals on this, I will buy another one of these and cut it out and do it myself, just because this one's probably, this body must be 5 years old by now anyway. So there's no point burning up a original set of decals on a body in this kind of condition. So it kind of just sits here. What I should do, thinking about it just off the top of my head, I should paint this like red just to make it like a road truck. That would be fine. And then just leave no decals on it and just do around the windows and stuff. I should do that anyway. And then at least it would look semi-finished until hopefully we get a re-release for it. Now what I've done now, if you know these, they're very hard to restore. The rims and tires are all brand new on this truck. Yeah, that's a feat in itself. Not only that, but the whole underside, the rear is all brand new. The chassis has been used lightly, but everything else has been replaced. I have almost bought a brand new chassis, but when you start throwing £150 into a chassis, it makes no sense. Hopefully we'll just get a re-release, and then maybe the original one will come down to a bit more of a reasonable price so that I can fit it. If you look carefully, you'll notice that it's got the upgraded TCC gearbox that I put on it. So that's £110 gearbox there alone. Also, it's got a Tamiya vintage motor in it, which again is going to set you back £50–60. And yeah, you can start to sink quite a lot of money in this one. Also with this, I now have got all the vintage electronics in it. I managed to find the correct ESC, and the ESC that's in this is actually different because of the length. To actually get to the motor, it's a longer one, so you can't just use any one that you find. So again, trying to find the correct one, and it's got vintage electronics in it as well. It's one I love having in the collection, and probably a lot of you have never seen it, apart from it being on the show a few years ago. All the upgrades and all the little bits I've just done off camera. Another one is this, my Arrma Senton 4x4 bread van. Now I did the modifications on this one where I've changed all the body mounts and I changed the body. Quite hard to get hold of, these are, and it just needs to be painted up. Now it's been sitting for a while, and the paint job that I want to do on this is the one that Proline did. So it's quite a complex, it's like red, black, white, and I really like this body, it looks amazing. So I definitely want to get this one finished. Now this week I actually picked up a protective chassis, so at some point soon I'm gonna paint this up. I think it'll probably take me about 2 to 3 days to paint it up. It's quite complicated. I think I can do a reasonable job of matching it. So that's my apart from that, I think everything else is pretty much stock. I haven't changed anything else. Last time I had it on the show, I blew out some tires and I damaged stuff, but I've fixed all that since then. I can't remember if I did that on the show or not, but yeah, just to be a little bit different from having too many that look the same. And I really love this bread van style. Another absolutely stunning one is the Ninja from Marui. This one was actually donated to the channel, and on first inspection it looks finished, but it's not. It does need a little bit of love. If anything, it could do with a full strip down and rebuild, but you'd have to be very careful you didn't break anything. Tires are a bit on their way out now. They're all cracked on the inside. On the outside they look fine, so on the shelf you don't really notice it. I do have a driver to put in it as well as it's missing some electronics. Ideally, what I'd like to get for this would be a set of tyres, but I'm not sure if they do reproduction ones yet. I'll have to check. I haven't really looked into it. It's got a lot of the vintage electronics in it, but it just needs a bit of TLC really, and painting up a new body would probably make it look brand new. This body's not original, so doing another one, just this one is obviously, it's been on the car for a long time, so it's starting to look a little bit lackluster as they age, but putting a new body on it would be pretty straightforward. The rest of the car is actually in pretty good condition. I have seen a few times new arms come up and I'm like, maybe I should just get a new set of arms, but never pulled the trigger on it. But at some point, thinking about it, I should have just got them when they were, because I don't think they were that expensive. Anyway, I digress. That is the beautiful Marui Ninja. Sorry to interrupt your viewing pleasure. Would you like to win me the chance to win one of these, an RC10 4-wheel drive new in box for less than the price of a coffee? Well, now's your chance, because I'm raffling off one of these. Comes with free worldwide shipping to your door. So what are you waiting for? Actually, watch the video and then go to the link in the description, or just Google Raffles RCKicks. Another one that's almost finished is this one. This is a Schumacher SV2 Cougar. I did a full restoration of all the chassis and everything, just needs the body painting up. Now the actual car, this one, the box art version if you will, was white with a Union Jack over it, and I have actually seen that car in person at Milton Keynes this year. So doing the Union Jack is a little bit above my pay grade, but I'm tempted to just do it white, just so that it kind of like shows off the car more if you just do it white. Plus if I did like some kind of sticker, then maybe that would work. Or really I've got to just wait until I get a pro painter that's available that could do a Union Jack on it. But the rest of the car is totally finished. Another one is this one, a original mid custom. This one I bought quite a few years ago. I did have one of everything, but I sold a few of them on, and this one has just sat on the shelf, slowly building up parts for it. As you can see, it's got lovely correct rims and tires. These are all the right ones, and the thin ones for the front, and then the rears, I think these are aftermarket ones. The body itself is all original, everything is, and I've been slowly in the background, as things come up, buying up original parts, original arms, full original electronics. So when I'm kind of trying to restore one of these, they take so long to find all the parts that I just can't really do it all in one go. I've probably got enough now to do a full restoration of this, but I'm pretty sure at some point soon we're going to see a re-release of possibly this one. It has got all the vintage electronics in it, just doesn't have the mechanical speed controller in it. The car is actually in lovely condition. It is really nice, and it is all original. It's not been tinkered around with or messed with, but it definitely needs a full strip down, full rebuild, new body, new wing, and then it would be lovely. But I'm pretty sure what will probably happen is they will re-release it, and then I'll build that and then do this one, or this will just stay in its original state. I mean, it's, you know, it's complete and everything, and I just need to spend time now swapping out all the brand new parts I have. Another one is this, the Durgga, the DB01 I think it is. And I had one on the show, did a full upgrade on it, and then I raffled it off and then delivered it to the winner. One upgrade that I couldn't do and I couldn't find was this chassis and the motor plate. Now this came up, this I think is a DB01R or an RR, can't remember. But it's got all the upgraded shocks, it's got loads of the upgraded parts on it already, and it's brand new, never been driven. So I decided to get this one, and then I will take it up to the highest level I can. The problem is, some of the parts that I did find previously, like the carbon composite front sections, the bits that go over the belts, I can't find again. Also, I need to change the carbon towers at some point and then paint up the body. Now, I did buy some decals, so I have the body and the wing, and I'm just going to do it standard box art, and I'm really doing this for myself to put it into the collection, as when I did the DB01 Durgga, I actually really liked it, and that kind of took me down the rabbit hole with the TRX 501X and the Driver 501X. So I wanted to get one of these again, so that's basically what I have. But because it's not on the show, it kind of, I'll get round to it when I can. It has got electronics in it that came with it and a servo, so this does fully work. I just need to finish off the body and then keep an eye out for the upgrade parts to fit to it to take it to the highest level. Ideally, I'd love a triple R, but good luck trying to find one. So this is kind of as close as that's going to get. The main one I keep an eye out the most is to get the alloy steering and then the carbon composite parts to upgrade it. But that's another one. The next one is this little fella, a Tamiya Audi Quattro that I bought, must be 4 or 5 years ago. This one, I bought this one around the same sort of time that I actually bought the Lancia. I fully restored the Lancia, but I haven't got around to this one. This one takes quite a lot of work. Realistically, I need to get a new body for it, but this is a combination between polycarbonate and then hard plastics. But the body itself has all the hard plastics on it, so it would be reasonably easy to take all the parts off, clean them up, paint them, and then put them onto a new body. And then the decals aren't that complicated to actually buy replica ones and put it back together again. I have got a few decals that I would keep to put on top of the reproduction ones. The reason I bought this one, even though the body is a bit of a mess and it's been painted on the inside and the outside, which is a bit weird, the actual chassis itself was in really good condition. It's fully complete and it hasn't done that much work. The tires as well are actually in really good condition and they're nice and soft. So that's one side that's really nice about it, is the actual chassis will come up nicely. It's got all the original electronics in it. The rims are a bit naff, but if I can get the tyres off, I've actually got replacement rims. The next one is a gorgeous RC10. This is a vintage one that I've had for ages. Got a stealth transmission in it and it's the black chassis. So I'm not sure if it's the world's one. I honestly don't know. I forget now. I've had it so long, I've actually forgotten. This is the correct body for it, and I've put the correct associated brushed motor in it. It just needs painting up and some vintage electronics. As far as I know, everything else is actually as it should be. I used to have it on the shelf for quite a long time, but I've actually run out now. I've replaced a few newer ones. So this has gone on the shelf of shame, which is very disappointing because it's pretty much there. I've got vintage electronics that would go in this, no problem. I just need to paint up the body. I'm pretty sure I probably got the decals already for it. I just need to get on and get it done, but it's been relegated to the shelf. This is one of my pride and joys that I must finish, and it's very close to being finished. This is a Schumacher Cat XLS. This is a re-release, but what makes this so special for me is this one has nearly every single upgrade you could ever find, even to the point that this week I was fitting some upgrades to it that have finally come out again, and that is the rear alloy roller drive shafts that just came out. So I fitted them to the rear of this. The reason I didn't get a set for the front is I've got one ways on it already, which is an upgrade, and if I was to go to the alloy rollers, I would have to take the one way out of the actual drive shafts. So this has nearly everything you could ever throw at it. So it's got the upgraded chrome rims. At the back of the car, it's actually got a Pro Cat rear end upgrade. Well, the bottom section has, as the original Cat XLS was way too complicated and they simplified it up for the Pro Cat. So it's got that, it's got anti-roll bar at the rear, it's got carbon tower from the XLS on it. So it's not the whole rear end has been upgraded, just the bottom section here. It's got the belt tensioners in alloy. It's got the new drive shafts. What else has it got? It's got a carbon lower deck, carbon higher deck. It's got a Pro transmission in it. It's got the bearing holders in alloy. It's got the LiPo battery tops in carbon. It's got the finger screws in alloy. The front top arms are adjustable. One-way drive shafts, like I said before. What else has it got on it? Front anti-roll bar. I'm not sure if that's part of the original kit. And I think that's pretty much it at the moment. I think that's everything that I've upgraded so far. I just need to get the body painted or do it myself. I was tempted to do it the Masami way. I have painted a Masami body before, and I did one and I sold that on, so I could do another one. Also, I'm tempted to just do it kind of like white, like my short wheelbase Cat, to have them look almost the same and paint it up like that. But I honestly don't know, but I'm slowly adding bits. The only thing I'd like to add to it, which I don't think I could ever find, is the center section of the rear diff housing is plastic, and I've got a metal one on my racing Cougar, but I don't know if anyone's ever got one of those. So the next one that shouldn't really be sitting on the shelf of shame, as it's absolutely stunning, and it's this, the team associated RC10 B2. These have become very collectible. B2s weren't only out for about a year, and then the B3 came out. Also, they did an upgrade kit for the B2 to B3, so as you can imagine, there's not a lot of them around. This one is in beautiful condition. This one, as far as I know, if it's been run, it's only had a very light running to almost new. I just don't know. Everything looks brand new on it. Correct vintage body, just needs painting. It has got all vintage electronics in it. It's got Novak, a Novak receiver, Novak ESC, and it's got some vintage cells in it. So it just needs the body painted up. But the body that's box art on the B2 is well above my pay grade, so it's just sitting there. This is an original body, but absolutely beautiful, and as far as I know, all bang on correct. It just needs the body painted up, but I can't do that body, so I'll have to get a pro painter to do it at some point. But there you go. So that's my gorgeous B2. The next one is more of a bag of bits than an actual car, and that's because I've dismantled it to actually build it, and then I've done what I usually do and I haven't bothered to put it back together again. And there's reasons for that. And the first one is I've had this for quite a while and I've been slowly collecting all the parts, which takes time. Now don't forget, I had this before the re-releases. So this is totally vintage. Everything is vintage. All the parts were vintage, and I was getting close to putting it together, and then the carbon chassis version came available. So when I bought two, I bought this one, and then I had the prototype one given to me that's on my Triggers broom. So the idea was to fit this to this car, but I love the red. So the plan was that I want to get this painted this red. So it's carbon, but it looks almost the same. And then just have it painted so the point that you can just see through the paint, a bit like the Ferrari F40. Don't know whether that's possible or not. So you can see the weave, because these are stunning chassis. While I was at it, I was collecting things like tyres and a few little upgrade options and stuff like that. Then obviously the Cougar Classic came out, which then I had my Triggers broom, which I put loads of time and effort doing all the upgrades for that one, which I've got, and that fully runs. That's a running car. Then they went and released the Works re-release, so I have that new in box. I was trying to get that out, but it's deep in my stock and I didn't want to dig through too much to find it, so I've got that to build as well. So there's quite a lot to be getting on with. I also have the very rare roller drive shafts that this car came with, but I've also managed to buy the new Riri ones to go on my Cougar Classic Triggers broom as well. So I've got a full kit to build, I've got this to restore, and I've got a little bit of updates to do on my Cougar. So that's quite a lot of cougar-y stuff to do, but this car could be lovely when it's all put back together again. But obviously it's not as desirable as it was because the Works came out again and you can get everything in lovely minty fresh versus this version. But still, there's probably a good day and a half, 2 days to put it back together again. And also it needs a body as well, which I'm pretty sure I have, as I've got the spoiler here. And I've got all the other bits and pieces. See, I've got everything that I need to put it back together again. So, yeah, at some point that will happen. I don't think they're going to do a red chassis version, which was that the team car? I can't remember. So it's probably still worth the investment getting it back up and running again to have a vintage one. That way I've got the Works, I've got the Cougar Classic fully upgraded race buggy that I use, and then I've got a vintage example as well. So that kind of does fit into the collection a little bit. So there you go, another one that's been sitting on the shelf staring at me for quite a long time. Another one I got asked about loads, but it's started to die off now as I think it's been done to death, and it was this, doing the Porsche 959 on a more modern Tamiya chassis. And yes, I managed to get it to actually work, and you could even put a driver cockpit in it. There was enough clearance so you could make it look bang on. The hardest thing was obviously getting the right wheels, as these are too big for the body, and I then lost interest in it. And the reason I lost interest in it is it worked fine, and I just needed to go back and paint up the body. But this was actually not that long after I did a whole body and I restored a Porsche 959. So I didn't really feel like the urge to do it again. At some point I will, but I'm hoping that they're actually going to do a re-release 959. Not overly sold on this chassis. There was a few things that you had to do. I had to change the prop shaft to a different length prop shaft to get the right wheelbase, but it fits and works perfectly. I've driven it, I've taken it out and driven it around, and it drives fine. So there was no big challenges apart from just painting it up. Probably the biggest one would be to 3D print some rims and some tyres, but you can get them now anyway. So yeah, it's just sat on the shelf. It fully works and it fully drives. I've actually scratched it slightly at the front here. While I was driving it around, I crashed it. Also, I've got these two more mids. Yes, well, basically what happened, the justification is I started collecting the mids before any of the re-release ones came out. And I managed to get one of each, and of course they were quite ropey back then, you know, and then the new ones came out. So I've never got round to restoring these. So this is a original mid, which is basically that one up there. That's the re-release version of it, and it came like this with the body and everything, and it came with these alloy wheels, which I kind of like but kind of don't like. I do like the alloy, but I'm not too keen on putting them on that one, as the white looks really good. So I haven't restored it. It's also got a carbon top deck on it, but the rest is all original vintage. These arms are all really nice. The body itself is okay, but really it needs to be painted up a new body, basically like that one does. Then I had this, which is the Turbo Optima Mid, which sure enough, they kind of did the same decals that came with it. That's an early one, so it came with both decals. So I have got a set of original decals to actually restore this one. This one's in pretty reasonable condition. I put a new chassis on the bottom of it. This is vintage, so it hasn't got any doubt. And I've changed some arms, and I've put new tyres on it and new rims over the time I've had it. But really, it needs a new body. But this one needs to be restored before this one does, really, as I've got one now. So, but this one could be fully restored back up again to being a basically shelf queen. Got a new bumper. See, these bumpers used to be really hard to get hold of as well. So there's two more Optima Mids that could do with some love. Another one that could really do with restoring is this one. This is my original hotshot. This is all original. It just needs a full strip down rebuild and a good clean. The actual car is not too bad. It's got all vintage electronics in it, so it just needs a bit of love, but it drives brilliantly. And the reason I've never restored it is because I enjoy driving it, and I thought if I restore it, then I'll never drive it. So it's slowly got dirtier and dirtier. It's all got mud on the tyres from the last time I drove it, and it's looking a bit rusty in some spots. Obviously there was lots of re-re's of this one, but this one is totally original, and it's a bit loose around the gills, so it could do with a bit of love. The suspension is totally had it. All the springs are rusted, but it's something about it. It's got quite a bit of patina about it. So, and I've had this one for about 4 or 5 years now, but it's not in terrible condition. Just could do with a bit of TLC. So that's another classic one that I must restore. Another one that's almost made it to the top of the restoration list, but never quite got over the top to be done, is this one, a vintage bigwig. This is all original. It has all the original electronics in it, and it's even got a vintage battery in it in lovely condition. This one I definitely need to restore, and over the last few years I've been collecting all new parts for it, so I have everything to restore this, and all the parts I have are all vintage original parts to make this basically a shelf queen. I almost built it recently because obviously they're re-releasing these and you can buy them again as a but I wanted to restore this one. So far, the only things I've done to it is I've put brand new rims on it. But I've got the original body, which is kind of, it's okay. But obviously I've got a proper original one to put back on it. And I've got original decals and everything. So that one should be reasonably close. Depends how quiet things get with the re-releases. So at some point I will do a full detailed restoration of this one. I've never even driven it, so it'd be nice to drive it. I should do that before I restore it, really. But yeah, heavy old girl, that's for sure, but very different. I like it, don't like it. It's iconic Tamiya, which is great, and I do love it for that. Can't say it's the best looking buggy, and that whole kind of steering they did with the it's not like a servo, it's rack and pinion style with a servo, so it turns like a barn. And there's two more that are quite recent, and that's these. The first one is the first Xray I've ever had in the collection, the XB2 two-wheel drive. This was gifted to the show, and I need to take this running and put electronics in it. It's pretty much all there. I just need to put some electronics in it. Been quite busy at the moment racing at the track, so I haven't had a chance to do it, but I will actually put it together and then take it for a spin, as I'm really interested to see how it performs. Quality wise, it looks fantastic, but I'd like to see what it goes around the track like. And the other one, totally different, is this one, the little tiny Reflex Racing, the little tiny race car. I do hope to finish this one off and take it racing. There's been talk I need to order the receiver for it and then finish painting up the body, put some wheels and tires on it, and then take it racing. So that's something I want to carry on doing at some point. Another one that I haven't even started yet is this one, the NSR 500 bike, the first bike that I've ever had in the collection. This one's from Kyosho. The reason I haven't built this, and these are stunning when they're painted up, is the electronics that you need to fit in them. They're very unique to this car, so I haven't managed to buy those yet. But at some point I want to build this up because this is absolutely stunning. The driver, when you do all the livery. So I just need to actually get around to painting this up. You can still buy this, it's still readily available. And it's just something a bit different, but this is definitely more model on the shelf than take driving, as it would be very easy to damage all that lovely livery when you spend ages painting it all up. Another one I have is this little fella, a Formula 1 car. This is a Tamiya, and it's a very old one. It's the one with the silver chassis. This is actually in pretty good condition for its age. It has got one broken part that it came with like that, but the rest of it is actually okay. There's a little bit of sticking needing to be done there, but the rest of it is pretty much complete. The front spoiler needs to be stuck back on. It could ideally do with being painted again, but when I put it on the show in the first place, people said I should just leave it with its patina, just fix it up a little bit. So at some point, the driver's actually painted up reasonably well. So it's just another one that needs a light bit of restoration. And I need to try and find that front hub. God knows if I'll ever find one of those, but it is from a whole different era of RC, that's for sure. Another one that's been on the show, but I haven't actually finished it, was this. This is a Team Associated 10R5, I think it is. Oh, the sticker's fallen off. And I put this body on it temporary just to get it up and running, to make it look more like a car. And yeah, it's quite mean looking. Then I found out that they did a conversion to a 235mm, which is more the modern version. I don't know a great deal about these. This one's in beautiful condition though, never run as far as I can see. And I managed to get hold of the conversion kit. Now, when I got this, the conversion kit was from a good few years before, and then a lot of these cars now come as the 235mm width, the huge great big things. But people started converting these, and that's kind of where it came from, I think. So it was really hard to get hold of the parts to convert this, as most people have just moved on to buying them in that format. But I managed, with a lot of people's viewers' help, to actually get one of the last conversion kits for it. And then there's all the carbon front section to basically make it wider. And I have a body set tucked away as well. So that came from Full Option. So yeah, £56 that was, but it was super hard to get hold of, and I was really lucky. And I think 3 people from around the world managed to get me the parts. And then after I managed to get everybody to get all those parts and paid everybody, I put it in a box and I haven't touched it for 2 years. Also, someone else got in contact with me and said, would I like a 12R5? So I've now got this new in box, never built. And it's also got loads of other option parts like the lipo conversion kit. I've got a couple of chassis, so I need to build that up. Now I do plan on doing more kind of track racing instead of buggy racing. Now that I've got the van, I can actually go and do more of that on a Monday. So at some point I need to start doing a bit of content like that as well. So one of these will probably work really well. I'd like to do the conversion to this just to see how I get on with it. But this body I had first obviously fits this wheelbase, and if I change it to the 235, this body won't work anymore. But I just knocked it together. It's just black with a little hint of gold, just to make it easy to put that together. So I should definitely take it running. Wouldn't matter if anything happens to this body. So yeah, maybe I should just get a move on with this. It's got everything in it. I think it needs a receiver, and then it would actually fully work. And the last one is this, the little sand rail from Night Customs, which is basically a wild one, and then you just change over the chassis. It's almost there. The only thing I need to do now is I need to put a metal on the bottom, and I need to add a driver. Off camera, I've done a few other bits since the last video, like it's now got alloy rims, steering wheel, changed out a lot of the parts for the Jun Watanabe wild one. So it's now got all the chrome arms just to make it look a bit more realistic, and it's got the motor on the back. But it's almost there. I've managed to find the correct servo and the correct shocks, so it all looks very scale. But I just need to do that metal plate along the bottom, and then maybe buy the driver and print him out, or have him printed, and then it would look really cool. And that is pretty much everything. I've got loads of body sets waiting to go on to different chassis and stuff, but they don't really count at the moment. And also I have a monster truck that is on tons of bits, but it's right at the back of my storage, and to get it out would take me about an hour and a half just to show you a box of bits. So at some point I want to get around to doing that as well. So that's pretty much most, not all, but most of the projects I've got currently sitting in the background. So if I never bought another RC, I think I've probably got the best part of half a year worth of work to get all that lot finished. But of course, new things come out and grab my attention, and then I have to have them on the show. So if you're feeling bad about not having those 1 or 2 cars that are sitting there nagging you that you haven't finished them, well, just think of me and all the ones that I have. And hopefully that'll make you feel a little bit better. And for that service, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it helps the channel out. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.